We should call the order of the USD 49 School Board meeting to order. Approval of agenda.
Mr. President, I make the motion to approve the agenda with the addition of discussing the offer from Golden Belt Bank to name the football field.
I'll second.
Ms. Derek?
Okay, hold on.
Is he absent?
Yes, Derek Jeter. Derek, my God.
He retired.
Dr. Yarmer texted me, said he's working. That was good, wasn't it? Okay, Mr.
Second was Ruth.
Yeah. And we are voting on approving the agenda, adding,
The discussing the offer from Golden Belt Bank to name the football field.
okay. Fair enough. So all those in favor of approving the agenda with the addition, say yes.
Yes.
Those opposed, say no. No.
Alan, how do you vote?
No.
The motion failed.
Okay. Thank you. I will take a motion. Oh, do we need another? Do we need a motion to approve the agenda? That's. Okay.
I make a motion to approve the agenda as presented.
Thank you. I second. Any discussion? Seeing no discussion, all those in favor say, vote yes. Yes.
Yes.
All those opposed, no. We good, Jess?
Yes, the motion carries.
Thank you very much. Okay. The mission of USD 49 is to provide a quality learning experience for every student in every classroom every day. To support the mission of the district, the USD 49 board includes supporting a vision that encompasses high student achievement, highly effective staff, effective and positive communications, effective management of resources. Okay. Consent agenda. Mr. Wilson?
Oh, yes, on the consent agenda, I mean, really, it's pretty simple. Board meeting minutes from July 14th, special board meeting minutes from July 21st, and also our retreat on August 4th. Those minutes are included. You've got Hayes Rec, nothing there. Personnel transaction, there is one, Pat Hammerschmidt, who was a para at ECC for, is it 22? Yeah, a parent educator at ECC for 22 years. Her retirement is on there. So thanks to Pat for her time with the district. And financials, Chris?
So just an update, we reviewed budget at the retreat. Budget is published. It ran in the Hayes Daily, so we've met the publication requirement. September meeting, we'll have right at 6:30, we'll have the revenue neutral rate hearing. Immediately following that will be the budget hearing and budget adoption. The budget will actually run in the Brooks County paper this year. Been a little, there's been conversation back and forth between county clerks and the Department of Administration and Kansas Department of Education. And so the rules didn't necessarily change on the education side, but a opinion offered by the state is suggesting, hey, if there's any question, run your budget in any county that you have territory in. And so we have a little bit of ground in Rush County, so we'll run the budget publication there also.
Okay. I have a question, and if we need to move it to the superintendent's report, the question is, and tell me if we want to answer it or move it on, the surplus sale that was in the Hayes Middle School parking lot to be Hayes Middle School?
Yes. We do have a total, but I have not, I don't have it, but I can get it to you.
Okay, and then that is, money is in capital?
Capital outlay.
Is moved to capital outlay?
We had pretty good
Work.
I even hate to say, but we sold a lot of stuff, and a good fair amount. So
Okay.
we'll get that to you.
I appreciate it, thank you.
So that's at Lincoln and Hayes High?
Yeah.
Okay. I would entertain a motion.
Mr. President?
Yes, Mr. Park?
I've got a couple items in financial. Do we take all financial or just those two items?
Can you ask Mr. Hip?
The bond tracking, I'd like an explanation of that. And also, and a question on the publication. It says Florida. So I was wondering, why does it say Florida?
The company that we go through to actually complete the publication is based out of Florida, but it's just the website where you actually submit the publication and then they get it to Hayes Daily, they handle the payment. So it's kind of third-party administrator, the way I understand it.
So for Hayes Daily, the verification in Florida, the county of Brownward,
So that's the company that we submit the publication to. It has to be notarized, and so the notary is in Florida because that's where the company is that receives it on their website and then gets it into the Hayes Daily. But the publication is in the Hayes Daily, was in last Saturday.
and so the Rooks County one is not, are they part of Hayes Daily too?
No, it's a different,
It's different.
yeah, different paper. They don't use that company to do the publications. We go out and work directly with the newspaper person.
So just Ellis and Rooks are the only two counties we're in?
Correct. Yeah.
So just one item then, Mr. President.
You want to pull
Bond project tracking.
bond project tracking? Okay.
Have we got a motion to approve?
No, checking on Jess.
Yeah. Just asking about what you have.
No. I got that one.
It's cool.
Just the short stop of the beginning because I needed a name.
Mr.
Are we good, Jess?
Mr. President, I have,
Hold on. You got that one? Okay. Yes, Mr. Park?
you were talking about surplus property. We have some items on Purple Wave. When did we approve those?
I'm not sure what's on Purple Wave.
There's like 5 pickup trucks and snow plows.
So,
Yeah, you did approve them. 'cause-
Yeah.
When was that?
way back when we did the lease with Enterprise, the approval was to liquidate the current fleet. Most of those have been, all but the ones you see right now, have been sold through Enterprise. These were old enough and leave it at that. They were old enough that felt like it was going to be just as efficient to get rid of them on Purple Wave. So they're the only ones we didn't actually sell through Enterprise's dealership network.
Okay, but so it was not done through Enterprise, so we should approve those according to state statute. All property 489, the board approves the sale.
Well, you approved it when you approved the plan to liquidate those.
Not those specific items. According to what I look at on that law, it says the school board shall have control over school property, including school buildings, school grounds, and all buildings and structures, their furniture, fittings, equipment, such books, maps, cards, everything's listed in there. So those should have been approved by this board. And discussion about those, about why you're choosing to do that, because there's equipment on those, the snow plows. Why are we replacing the snow plows?
Well, we're getting brand new ones with Enterprise, right? It's all coming as a package to return.
Yeah, all of that was a part of
The equipment, they're coming with those equipment, those toolboxes that are in the back and everything, the lifts, all that is they're putting on there. So we're leasing all that equipment too. So that's going to be,
We purchased the equipment, put on the leased vehicle, and we can transfer it or we can sell it. That was part of the management plan is they come to us and say, okay, with this one, we didn't sell, not all of the pickups got sold on Purple Wave. One of them was new enough and the equipment was new enough that they felt like that they sold it through there. So all of it is a part of that management plan. I guess we can go back and I can ask for permission now to sell it on Purple Wave instead of through Enterprise, but that was,
But
when we signed the deal with them, that was the arrangement is they will
Right.
help us liquidate the fleet.
That was the arrangement, but when they chose not to do it, went to Purple Wave, and that should have went to the board.
And I don't remember if they mentioned that during the conversation or not.
Alan, I thought they said, when they talked about liquidating our current fleet, I thought they said that they had like algorithms to determine when was the best time to liquidate them and how. So
Okay.
like via them, or if it was not up to par. I don't know what was the right word.
Yeah,
Then via
these
proposal.
were just-
I'm not saying, I'm just saying if they're, we should have that discussion, and it should come to the board that we're gonna do it, and we should vote on that, whether we're gonna put that on Purple Wave or not.
We
It
don't
was
need to go
jumped,
item
skipped
by
over the board.
item. That's not our job. But they
Okay,
want
so
it
that's
done.
what state statute says.
Not exactly. Does it say item by item on that state statute?
What's that?
Does it say every item by item we have to go through?
School district property, Mr. Brooks.
And so we've
And that's
already
school
voted
district
on that.
property. It's not the
They've
lease
discussed-
company. I talked to KSB, I talked to an attorney, and I said, okay, if it's a lease vehicle, yes. But if it's a school-owned property, which that is, correct? Do we own those vehicles?
Correct.
Okay. Anything that we own, we are supposed to approve. Is that right, Mr.?
Which you did.
We did. That's what they're telling you is that we
You already
did.
disposed of other vehicles at the same time in another manner. This is just another way to dispose. So we didn't talk specifically about any of those vehicles that we got rid of through Enterprise, but you knew that we were disposing of all those vehicles. This is just another way.
I don't think that we mentioned those pickups with the snowplows were part of that.
We said, I think the discussion was all vehicles. They were in charge of our fleet. Fleet is all vehicles.
And if they didn't dispose them, which they didn't, it went to Purple Wave, and that comes back to us. Until we get rid of all the vehicles that are our property.
I would have to read
we should do
the,
that.
I'd have to read the contract, but Enterprise is going to deal with our surplus for us. When they,
It's
when
not
they,
Enterprise on the list.
when they
It's,
deem it.
Hayes Bus Barn. And why does it say Hayes Bus Barn and not USD 49? Because it goes back in capital outlay, correct?
Yes.
Yeah, that doesn't really matter. That doesn't.
it's one and the same.
Check comes to, it'll come to Hayes Bus Barn instead of 489. But I don't know why it's listed that way.
Okay.
I'm just saying, we're going to do it the right way. Let's make sure we do it the right way. And that's kind of behind, they're going to be sold tomorrow on Purple Wave, but we didn't have the opportunity.
What's our alternative, Alan?
It's not, it's just maybe we do it right the next time.
What would we do different, Alan?
We would bring it to the board in one of those meetings we had in July or June, whenever they were put on. They were probably put on 2 months ago. We should have approved them before, just like we have any other surplus property. There's no difference. And while we're talking about that, what about the playground equipment, the trash cans, the benches, all that at Lincoln? What's that plan for that? The freezer, other items that are still in that school?
There's some items that we still have, a freezer that might be in there. It's being
The walk-in freezer that's outside. What's the plan for that?
That'll be moved.
Moved to where?
Laughlin. Yeah.
Okay.
It's going to remain there until we're ready for it. So Mike Graham has agreed to allow us to leave it there.
Why would we leave it there? Why
Till
would we
we're
sell
ready.
it?
Until we're
Because
ready.
we don't have a place for it. It's hooked up.
Why wouldn't we sell it, or try to sell it?
We're going to use it.
It's going to a Laughlin.
It's going
Okay.
to be our freezer.
But I thought you said that you have an agreement with him to leave it there.
Well, because we're not ready to move it to
Oh,
a
I got
Laughlin.
you.
We're still a year away from having the space to move.
So it will stay there even though they own the property, it'll still be there? No fee or anything?
He's agreed to that.
And then, like, the trees, we talked about trees before, we purchased trees that were out at Hayes High, are we gonna move some of those trees to, I know we bought hundreds of trees out of Hayes High, could we use some of those trees out at some of the school? Yeah.
I don't think plan is to move any trees.
I think it's going to cost more to move those trees.
Okay. To move on. Anything else?
So I just have a question about the consent agenda with Ron. So when do you believe would be the best time to discuss the donation from Gold Belt Bank? Is this the time that I need to bring that up? And will it be on a future meeting so the public is aware of it, the conversation?
I'll address it. It was going to be on the agenda. I had it removed. It is scheduled for the October 27th, and that's when, I guess I could have mentioned when Mr. Brooks wanted to add it. It's going to be added to the October 27th board work session.
Okay, can I ask why? it's delayed so
Yes,
much?
these are my reasons. We should be in charge of naming and not reacting. Can't find another high school in the Kansas that has named their field. We should decide what's to be named. We should construct the contract, what the signage looks like, the length of the contract, how often or how they are messaged. We should let all supporting businesses have an opportunity. That's my reasons, and I asked for it to be removed from the agenda so that we could have discussions and make decisions and not react, and it is scheduled for October 27th for our board work session.
Okay, so then can I ask a question as to October 27th? You're halfway through the football season, even more so.
Yeah.
So that could be retracted, the offer. So
Yes, ma'am.
move it up. Can we have a vote on moving it up?
Well, I will say real quick, our board policy says 3 people can request a special board meeting, and if the president doesn't do it, and so that's something that we can do.
Sure. And when we meet, and if I can discuss it with Mr. Wilson to move it up if we want to do that at that time. But I think there's lots more considerations than just say yes to the first one that comes along. I contacted both school districts that I was told about and had well over 45-minute discussions with both. And
And they aren't all
what our
the same.
plan is, no,
Okay.
excuse me, Mr. Brooks, but I'm talking. What we are doing and what they did are totally different. They had a target, and they had what they were going to do with their money.
Well, I also feel
Okay.
that the
I understand.
community has a right to know that a donation was set in place, and I think the public has a right to know that.
Fair enough.
I do have a comment. I feel like calling it a donation is kind of risky because it has a contract. I feel like it's more of a purchase. I'm still not saying that it's good or bad, but I think a donation does not have anything in return. So I just feel like it's a contract.
It's a
Whereas-
purchase.
Whereas it is generous and it is worth discussing. I just think we need to be careful about how we talk about it, and that, because I don't want to upset Golden Belt Bank. I also don't want to upset community members, and it needs to be talked about very carefully and treaded very lightly. And I just hope that we all remember that, yes, there are some good business decisions, but education is not always a business, and it can really hurt feelings and squash toes.
Mr. President, this isn't even on our consent agenda. It's not on the agenda. It was voted on, and it was failed.
Okay.
Why are we
Yeah, but there
discussing?
was
I'm just
also no
asking when we
discussion
can bring it
before the
up.
vote.
Okay.
Why we can't bring it up earlier than October 27th when the football season's almost over. We have, 2 games left unless we go to sub-state and state? That's it. The season's over. And this is we just won the lottery and you guys don't want to count.
I don't think it's after discussions that I've had, it's not the lottery.
I'm just
Okay.
asking that.
I would entertain an approval for consent agenda, please.
I so move.
Thank you. Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and
Sorry, is it
seconded.
with the bond tracking?
It is with the bond tracking, project tracking removed.
Okay, yeah, moved, seconded.
Correct? Any more discussion? Seeing no more discussion, please vote yes.
Yes.
In favor? Those opposed, vote no. Motion passes, thank you. Next is, okay. Oh, you're right. Public forum, does anybody want to speak? Okay,
You were really excited.
I have one, so let me dial into this.
You already know what I'm going to say, so it doesn't matter.
Okay. Okay, you can go. Okay. Okay, I'm ready to read now. The board requests that all members of the public respect the rules outlined below so that everyone that wants an opportunity to provide input will be given the chance. Speakers are asked to start with stating name and address where they reside. Speakers are limited to 3 minutes to make their presentations. Speakers are asked to make only points that have not been made previously, except to ask clarifying questions. Board members shall not interact with speaker at the open forum. And finally, the board asks that all members of the public respect these rules so that everyone that wants an opportunity to provide input that has not already been given will have the chance.
I'm going to preface this with, I was planning on doing this anyway, before your last 4 or 5 minutes of talking. So, as far as naming, it should be the Hayes High Indians Field. Having somebody come in, give X amount of dollars so that they can advertise is a slap in the face to all the people that pay the property taxes, house tax, whatever, all the taxes, doing everything, the citizens and everybody who voted. So some business just can't come in and all of a sudden it's going to be that. No. You fought over this marketing and naming Hayes High Indians. And so it's that field. It belongs to the town and the school, not to some business. You can only sell your soul so many times. Yeah, $200,000 sounds like a big number. Not compared to 143 million or whatever we've been paying for. So no, it's Hayes High School. And I think you guys said the names were the Indians, so I don't know. Any of you that stand there and are all over this bond, and you turn around,
Way before we even have kids in the seat on the first day, so it's really not, I know we've had kids enrolled since I attached this. And once again, the numbers you're looking at are numbers for enrollment forms. So that's basically how, the only way we can give that information to you with the number of forms. And a lot of times we have kids that haven't even filled out forms for the first day. We will get that and we'll have numbers once we know. So just got some kind of initial numbers. Once again, right now it looks like our kindergarten class is a little smaller than we would like, right around 200, which is last year, for example, we thought our kindergarten class was a little small, up to 11. However, I would tell you to look at this year, we're up to 234. So we've gained a lot of students from a year ago. And I don't have an explanation of why or where they came from, but so it does happen. So we went back and looked last year what the kindergarten enrollment was. So we'll just see how this all, once again, I always want to preface, this really doesn't mean a whole lot, and even the first day of school doesn't mean a whole lot. We'll have a ton of transition, and really September 20th is when we can start giving you some real numbers. And it'll be after September 20th, but so about 1st of October should be able to nail everything down. So I think that's all I have.
So quick question, Ron, about Hayes High. So heard a lot of kids say they're just nervous about the parking lot the first day because of the way that it's can't enter that one end when they leave.
Yeah.
So when you leave Wednesday, can the kids, do they only turn left or are they able to turn right?
Are you talking coming out on the, what we're calling it Hayes Way, that
Yes.
road?
Yes.
further
Yeah.
east?
Yes.
Yes, you can leave.
Okay.
Yeah, but you'll have to go to the south and then come. You
Okay.
can't come to the north and then turn right. We're not allowing kids to turn right if you come east out of the parking lot.
Do we have like a diagram?
Yes, they've sent out diagrams to all the kids, and as today they were doing orientation kind of with seniors and juniors today, and then they're doing an orientation with sophomores and freshmen tomorrow, and that's one of the things they're kind of covering is the parking lot, because that's probably the biggest thing for kids to understand. And we've ordered some signs to help navigate that, and we'll have some cones out, and we'll have a lot of staff, so we'll hopefully be able to navigate that.
Also, for anybody who doesn't know anybody in the district, those teachers have been working tirelessly. They have done an incredible job. They have pulled a school from like bare bones to a functioning classroom, functioning school in like 2-3 days.
Yes.
And honestly, like, if you see a teacher, tell them thank you, because they've been putting in a ton of hours and a ton of work.
They'll be tired Friday. They'll be tired Friday. Okay.
I have a couple questions about Hayes High. So what is the, if they're not completed by school starting, was that the date that they were supposed to be done? And then do we have penalties, or how does that work?
No, I mean, they're I guess, substantial completion is what we were looking for, and that was August 14th, I think, was substantial, which they have substantially completed, and it's not going to, any of the change or the continue would have to, I mean, it doesn't stop us from having school, so.
Okay.
They won't interfere with school, because any work that will be done after or in areas that where no kids are.
So did you have a punch list that you gave them before? You didn't? You're acting as our project manager, so I would think you'd give them a punch list.
Well, you don't give a punch list, you walk through, and that's been done. Yes.
And isn't Naples our project manager?
Yes.
Well, you should get one for your project manager, you should get one for your architect, you should get one for your mechanical engineer, your civil engineer from the city.
Very aware of it.
Do you have those letters from all those? They're all approved? You get a letter from each one of those?
I'm not sure where you're referencing.
Well, it's pretty standard. It's 101 that when you complete a project, especially this size.
They do have a punch list, and they are completing those.
So do you have those letters from all those engineers that everything is done as their specs and all the drawings from the architect?
Yes.
Can you share those with us, please?
No, I don't have those. I'll have to ask.
I thought you just said yes, you have them. You don't have them?
DLR has them, yes.
DLR has them? Can you get those for us? I mean, that is,
I will do my best to let you know what's being completed.
But the fire marshal, everybody else,
Yes,
code's been okay. Okay.
Yeah, we have, every project has numerous things that
They've walked through and,
yeah.
I mean, yeah, there's like a scratch on the glass. So I sat down in the auditorium and there's an area right there in the auditorium that's not complete. That should be on a punch list.
It probably is.
So those are things that they're going to do. Under the stairways, the pipe that's exposed there, that's,
Probably is.
okay.
I mean, I would hope as our project manager that you'd say they
I'm
are.
not your project manager. Naples is your project manager.
Naples is a project manager for Naples. You said that you were going to act in that role to help to get all
I'm
this
not going to
stuff
sit here
done.
and debate this. Naples is doing a great job. Feel very good about the project. If you're not feeling good about that, I will share your concerns with Naples.
I think it's standard that we should get, as owners, the board, as property owners, a list and letters from all those people, because we are liable
If that's what
for the safety of those kids. And they have to sign off that that is done by staff. Your structural engineer, mechanical engineer, plumbing, all
those are
those.
involved, yes.
It thinks, is the pressure on the doors correct for ADA? Those all have to be checked.
Well, that would have been checked by the fire
Yeah,
marshal.
it's-
No,
it's all
they wouldn't be able to
Okay.
check
That's a regular.
We're good. Okay.
I would like to say, though, that meeting this morning that was held for the teachers, I think Randy Watson did an incredible job. You did an incredible job. And it was just terrific to see the seats all filled in the new Performing Arts Center. So thank you.
Okay, let us move on. Number 5, action discussions items. 5.1, remove FAFSA completion from the graduation policy.
Talked about this at the retreat a little bit, that the state board removed completely from being required. We already had put in there that they could opt out because about a year ago, the state said it was required. So our policy reads that you can opt out, but just to not confuse anyone just revising it and removing it completely. And so that's what you see in front of you, just a mere edit to that policy based on the Kansas board guidance.
Mr. President, I make a motion to approve the edited policy as presented to remove FAFSA completion from the graduation policy IHF.
I second it.
It's been moved and seconded. Any more discussion? Seeing any more discussion, we shall vote. All those in favor, vote yes.
Yes.
Yes. All those opposed, no. Motion passes. Thank you very much. That should take care of action discussions items. Was that correct, Mr. Wilson? Okay, we will,
Wait, wasn't, there's something added by...
oh, my apology. Yes, Mr. Park with the tracking.
Yes, Mr. Hippocate, I was looking at the proceeds of the bond. Okay, we approved a 4.3 or 143.5 bond, right? Okay, on here it's 149.8. That's the proceeds.
That's the bond premium. So if you remember, when the bond is sold at 143 million. For lack of a better way to say it, people wanted it enough that people paid extra to be able to participate in the sale of the bond. So you generate what's called bond premium. So that's what generated the additional amount right there.
Can you go?
That is all interest up to what the arbitrage estimate is right now.
Okay, so the estimate down, is that a negative
Yes,
now?
right. The reason that's a negative is because, again, the way the arbitrage works, you can only generate so much interest, and it's all based on how long the money is in our pot. So it's all based on draw schedule and interest as the bills come due and all of that stuff. It'll be updated actually by the next meeting. We'll have an updated interest and arbitrage estimate for you. But yeah, the arbitrage is a negative because right now there's, as of this estimate from a year ago, they were tracking at having roughly $1.5 million in interest above the arbitrage rate. So that 1.5 has to go back to the feds.
Okay, so the realized gains, can you explain what that?
Yeah. So the realized gains is what we've actually received so far, the actual value. So the interest estimate is, so all of the money when it first came in, I mean, as we've been making payments and payouts, then money's coming out as they cash in, it's not CDs, it's actually treasuries. So everything's invested in treasuries, so you have the realized gain of like what it's actually at right now. But when you sell a treasury, you have, if it goes to, if you hit the date, right, when you purchase a treasury, if it goes to term, then it's worth X amount. So if it's a realized gain, we've already passed that date and it's been worth that amount. Otherwise, it's an estimate of what it's going to be, but if you cashed it in early, you wouldn't get that. So the interest estimate is always, you're going to have a realized part that is money in the bank, and you're going to have the estimate of once those treasuries go to term.
Okay, so where is the taxes that we receive from the city? They're not in here at all?
No, remember, that's a whole separate pot, right? So what
Right.
you're looking at right now is the project money. That's from the sale of the bond.
So
The
that's,
sales tax is over in a whole different fund that is only used for repayment of the bond. That
Can
the
you
sales
put-
tax and the property tax, the mill levy, those live in a whole, it's a separate conversation.
And that's a spreadsheet that's on there, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you go back a few months, we can pull that.
Yeah,
but
there's
it's
one.
not on
Closer to
here.
the top. No, it's not on here, but we've talked about it.
Can you provide that each time too, or you don't update it that often? It's updated every month, right? Because that's when we get the taxes in?
Well, we only make payments, so, yeah, so are you asking for the amount of sales tax generated?
Yes, and then how
Okay,
much is in that
that's every
fund?
month, that's on the interest report. If you look on the far right, the amount of money generated each month in sales tax that goes to repayment of bond is included. We don't include the update on property tax because really that comes in 2 times a year. In January and June are the big payments. There'll be some delinquent tax, things like that trickle in. But if you'd like, we can get, I mean, there wouldn't be any revenue in it. Yeah, I can get you an update on the property tax also.
But that sales tax is on there every month.
The sales tax is on every month, yes.
Okay.
We good?
So we're looking at, right now, we're up to 165 million on like, the cost of the bond, of the projects.
Again, the cost of the projects or the cost of the bond? Because the cost of the bond doesn't change. The loan taken out is repayment on 143.5 million. That doesn't change.
Can't spend more. We
Right.
can't.
You can't, yeah, I mean, that's,
can't tax
so
more
we
than
took out a
that.
loan
That
and
doesn't
we make payments on that. Now, if you're talking on the project side, yeah, the project number can change based on what the actual arbitrage comes in at and how much interest you make and those things. But that's separate from the mill levy and the sales tax that are only being used to repay the loan, if you will, the bond sale of 143.5.
So the FEMA grant money, is that a Laughlin or where is that?
High school.
That's the high school.
And that's a wrestling room, isn't it?
Yeah, the wrestling room is the FEMA portion, so that's all done.
Okay, so that is, it's not deducted from the total cost, it's just added on? Because it's a grant, shouldn't that replace the price of the, that's what I'm saying. Does that make sense? The FEMA grant's about $1 million, so wouldn't that just, we got a grant, so that just take it off the price of the bond? No, we added it to the bond to spend more? Is that what I'm seeing?
We added it to the project side, yes. Again, the bond is 143.5 million. The bond gets repaid 143.5 million plus interest.
Right.
The project side, yes, the FEMA grant went into the project fund to help fund the building requirements necessary to make it a FEMA eligible shelter.
But that was part of our maximum price, wasn't it? To do that? That was all part of it when we first started?
That's part of
Yeah.
whatever the total price of the high school is.
Total price.
Yeah.
So what I'm saying is, okay, we got a grant, shouldn't that just take it off of the total instead of added to the
I'm gonna
amount
be
that we're
honest.
spending?
But it wasn't what it means by that.
Yeah.
It's not.
Like the original bond was, that number was selected, anticipating we would get the.
We were, so it was built, that number was built in?
That number was built in, knowing we were going to get it from somewhere else. But when we got it, wrote in $1 million less than, $1 million more than we had come from the bond.
So
funds
that
themselves.
$1 million of that grant, Naples got their cut of 6% or whatever? No? It's part of that project
Well,
spend.
they got their money based on the total cost of the building. It's had nothing to do with the FEMA
Okay.
money.
I make the motion that we approve the bonds project tracking as presented.
A second.
Been moved and seconded. Any more discussion? Seeing no more discussion, we shall vote. All those in favor, vote yes.
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 All those opposed, vote no. Passes 6-0. Thank you very much. Mr. Wilson, executive session.
Yeah.
Where, we're going to the training room?
Yeah, we can go to the training room.
Training room for?
Yeah, for Chris, Kyle, Shannon, myself, Bill, and Katie Ravel.
Okay. How long?
20 minutes.
So we're going to say 7:35 we shall return?